Welcome to the You Need More Money podcast. I'm your host, Matt Manero, where I come to you from my studio each and every week in Dallas, Texas. Today, I'm going to help you quit that shitty job, that job that you hate so much. I get questions from people all the time on social media telling me about how frustrated and unhappy they are in their current position. And my response is, well, change it, man. I mean, I've told you guys this before. I go to the checkout counter at the grocery store with my boys, and when the girl behind the counter says, how's your day? I always say, it's unbelievable. You know what I would do if it wasn't? And they always look at me with a crazy look, and they're like, what'd you just say? And I said, yeah, I found everything I was looking for just fine. Thank you very much. But you know what I would do if I wasn't having an amazing day? And they say, what would you do? I said, I'd change it. Dude, I'm in control. It's my lifestyle by design. I talk about it at length in the You Need More Money book. If you haven't read the book, go get it. Amazon.com, You Need More Money. Get your hands on it. Where I talk about the importance of your lifestyle by design. You are in control of your situation. Hell, it's core value number 2 at my company, personal happiness. If you ain't happy here, you have the right to change it. And people have quit our company. They've left because they didn't correlate with core value number 2. They weren't happy coming to work anymore. Why would you go to work not being happy? I'm going to give you 6 ways to quit your job today and do it the right way. The first thing I want to talk about is a shout out to all the employers. Employers are under a tremendous amount of stress to make the work environment happier for their employees. Yes, you as the employer have a responsibility to create an environment that makes your employees happy. Now, you're not going to make everybody happy, and that's okay too. But you have to start out with the principle of, I want people to want to come to work. If you don't have that kind of an environment as an employer, shame on you. You're missing out on tremendous opportunities. You've got to figure out, how can I build something that makes certain people attracted to it through core values and mission statement, and then execute on it each and every day through, in our world, it's a core value number 2, personal happiness. If you ain't happy, I want to know about it. So rule number 1 for employers is you need to work harder to make an environment that makes your people happy. Now back to you individually. Number 1, you are in control. You make the decisions of what it is that you want to do for a living. I call it the platform. What platform do you choose? And unfortunately, a lot of people are so disgruntled and unhappy with what they do for a living and where they do it. It's because they chose the wrong platform. So get yourself a personality test. I don't care whether it's the DISC test or the predictive index test like we take in my office. Go online and just find one and take a personality test to help you figure out and determine what your superpower is. What is your DNA set up for, right? So in our world of the predictive index, we base it on 4 different qualities. The quadrant, if you will, it starts with an A. Someone that has a high A means they're highly ambitious. If someone has a high B, it means they're very interested in relationships and cultivating friendships. If someone has a high C in our world of predictive index, they have a very high tolerance for patience. They're very patient people. And a high D means they dot the I's and cross the T's. They have an intense attention to detail. You need to know what you're great at. What is your superpower? And the only thing I can tell you to do is stop guessing and take a personality test that begins to show you what your true superpower is. Now, by the way, in our personality index, the high A, high B, high C, and high D does not mean those are all good. In fact, in my accounting department, I really don't want someone that has a high A who's highly ambitious. In fact, I'd rather trade the A for a high D, attention to detail. I want someone who dots the I's and crosses the T's. I want my accounting people to have a high D and maybe even a lower A. But in human resources, guess what I want? I want a very high C and I want a very high B, people who care about relationships and people who are very patient. Because sometimes you get some pretty crazy questions from your employee base, right? They're redoing the roof at our office today, and one of our employees was like, well, I'd like to know if that roofing has certain materials that would impact my allergies. I'm like, I don't know the answer to that. How would I know the answer to that? Why don't you go ask the 20 guys outside putting a new roof on our building? I mean, how am I supposed to know the answer? Well, guess what? HR needs to be very patient. So the first thing you got to do is figure out what is your superpower, and you do it by taking a personality test. Number 2 on how to quit your job. You got to fuel that superpower. You need to find a job, a description, a platform, a career path that fuels your superpower. So once you know what your superpower is, go find an opportunity that leverages it. Don't be working in something that you aren't great at. A lot of people talk about the grind and how it's so tough. Dude, it doesn't have to be so tough. If you know what you're great at, go find it. But it starts by knowing what you're great at. Most of you are just guessing at it. You don't really know what you're great at. Take the test, find out what you're great at, find out what your superpower is, and then go into the marketplace and find your position that gives you the chance to get connected to your superpower and make the most money. Number 3, don't follow traditional hiring channels. Go direct. Don't go through a recruiter anymore. Stop looking online for ads. Go identify the company that you want to go work for and reach out to them directly and say, listen, my name is Matt Manero. I have an incredible ambition for success. I'm a great salesperson, and I promise you, the minute I come to work for your organization, I'm going to make you more money because I'm going to sell more product. Now, anyone who doesn't embrace that meeting that I just looked for and explained why they should take it, move on. But you will find people who do that. Stop this guessing game. Take control, Lifestyle by Design, and go find the opportunity and then get on the phone and book yourself the appointment. Make your own interviews. Number 4, go talk to your boss. I want you to go talk to your boss and give them a second chance. Because once you've figured out what your superpower is, and you focus a tremendous amount of attention to hone it and get better at it, and then you've tested the marketplace to what else is out there, give your boss a second chance to give it to you. Because you don't want to start from scratch. It's better to leverage the existing relationship that you have in a different capacity that might be pivoted or moved towards your superpower than it is to just punt on your employer and go start all over again. It is a huge problem that I see in resumes. People are doing things 2 years at a time, 2 years at a time, 2 years at a time, 2 years at a time. The only way you get rich is to do something for a long period of time. And if you're doing your superpower, why wouldn't you want to do it for a long period of time? So go to your boss with the new information and say, here's what I think I'm great at. Here's a department within the organization that I could run, and I want the chance to go do it. So number 4 is go talk to your current boss and give them a chance. You do not want to burn bridges. Trust me on this. We are all in a small world. And sooner or later, every dog has his day. If you piss off your employer 10 years ago, you may need that employer down the road. My number 1 bank that buys our loans, I've been doing business with since 1999. And my rep, who brought my account over to them in 1999, now runs the whole show. He runs the entire kit and caboodle. And for 19 years of good, clean business that we've been doing and a friendship that's developed, now I get to leverage him as the big boss. Don't burn your bridges. Go talk to your boss. Number 5, never, ever quit a job without another job. That is just way too stupid. Don't shut off the goose that lays the golden egg, the revenue gen that comes in, until you have another job lined up. So if you did number 1 and you did number 2 and you did number 3 and you did number 4 talking to your boss, go into the marketplace and land yourself another job, and then say goodbye to your current employer. Never quit a job without another job. It's the thing I ask people all the time. Why did you leave your other job? And you know what they usually tell me? I had a little disagreement with my boss. Well, that's not good for me to hear, because then I'm going to ask, well, what was the disagreement about? Dig into it a little bit more. Tell me why. What happened? Was it your performance? Was it your boss' performance? I was going to blame the boss all the time, right? But not me. I want to know what happened. So leaving your company high and dry does not look good for you in the next job. And number 6, whatever you choose to do, I want you to commit at 110% for 1 year. Not 1 week or not 1 month or 1 quarter. I want you to commit 110%. Take the blinders off, go all in for the period of 1 year. I've told you the story of LinkedIn, and I love how LinkedIn does it. They only do 6-month or 12-month employment contracts because they believe that's all the company or the employee can commit to at 110%. So they say, we're going to commit to each other for 110% for the next 6 months. And then at the end of the 6 months, we're going to reevaluate. Hey, did you like it here? Yeah, I liked it here, boss. Good, we liked you here too. You want to go another 6 months? Yeah, let's go another 6 months. Do it at 110% all in for a solid 1 year. Listen, if you're 22 years old and you did that in 5 different career paths, for 5 years, you'd be 27 years old and you would know everything you need to know about the rest of your life. Don't be afraid to commit all in for 1 year. And it's okay if you have to do it 2 or 3 different times to figure out exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So listen to me. You're in charge. It's your lifestyle by design. You have the responsibility to go into the marketplace and develop and live a life that you were meant to be. And most of you don't understand that. You still limp in. You don't take your life seriously enough to be able to make it meaningful and legacy and satisfying. So do the 6 things I told you right now. When you're ready to make that change, when you're ready to, I can't take another day of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, do the 6 steps I just gave you. I'll see you down the road.